One of the best young centre-back talents of this generation on the move. Yes, it looks like Manchester United have beaten Real Madrid to the signing of young Frenchman Leny Yoro. Welcome back, guys, and if you are new here, I'm Antonio Mango and I scout, analyse and do a breakdown of all the best upcoming talents in world football. Look at their strengths, weaknesses and position. So make sure you hit that like button, and if you enjoyed this video at the end, make sure you hit that subscribe button. So as I mentioned earlier, we're going to be looking at young Leny Yoro. So let's profile him. Let's look a little bit into his background, where he come from and what got him into football. Leny Yoro was born on the 13th of November 2005, which makes him 18 at this moment. He was born in Saint Maurice, France, but he was born to an Ivorian father, which makes him eligible to play for Ivory Coast or France. He began his career at the age of 5 for Alfortville before staying there for one season, but then having to move to Lille with his family. Pursued football in Lille before joining Lille's academy in 2017. And after impressively climbing through the youth rank, he debuted with the reserve team in 2022 and then quickly signed his first professional contract with the club on the 10th of January 2022. Again, it didn't take him long to impress, and in fact, he made his professional debut just on the 14th of May 2022, and in doing so, he became the second youngest ever debutant for Lille at the age of 16 years and 6 months and 1 day, overtaking Eden Hazard. After a handful of appearances in 2021-22 season, he then became a permanent member of the squad in 2022-23. But it was the season of 2023-24 where he really made his breakthrough and enjoyed some European nights as well. He became a regular starter for Lille, starting 32 out of 34 legal matches. The second most used French Championship player with a total of 3,690 minutes in all competitions at the age of only 18 years old. At the end of the season, Yoro was nominated for 2023-24 Young Player of the Year and elected in Team of the Year. After his breakout campaign and interest from Real Madrid and PSG, it looks like Leny Yoro will be going to Old Trafford next season. So what can Man United fans expect? Let's break down his strengths from a defensive point of view. Leny Yoro is a conservative and disciplined defender and tends to stay within the backline rather than being active and proactive and stepping out. He likes to cover space. You'll often see him being the last defending man. What I'm saying is he plays more of a sweeping role at Lille rather than an active defender. His biggest strength is his ability to read the game. His defensive excellence hinges on precise positioning and strategic timing. What he's exceptional at is covering space and blocking out the gaps and blocking out the lines. He's exceptional when he's anticipating passes and utilizes his high level of football intelligence to spot danger and cut off space. His positioning is one of his greatest strengths, which means he's never forced to go to ground to make a tackle. Instead, he anticipates danger and makes interceptions far more than he does tackles. Because he reads the game so well, he trusts his own judgment on when to move forwards and try and steal the ball before it arrives to the forward. So in theory, his defensive excellence hinges on sharp positioning, rapid decision making, allowing him to intercept and neutralize any threats effectively. He's extremely focused and concentrated when he's defending, but not only that, his attributes are clean as well. He's athletic, he's agile, he's quick, and he can use his long limbs to cover a large amount of grass and cover space. Because of his exceptional awareness and his great positioning, you'll often see him like anchoring the defence, covering these fullbacks, getting across and intercepting play or recovering loose balls. Like I mentioned earlier, he doesn't engage much, but when he does, he has a high percentage win as well. Just last season, he was the second defender to win most ground duels across Europe. 89% defensive duels won. He's also the best under 23 for ground duels won. Tells me that he doesn't engage much because he prefers to intercept, but when he does have to engage, he's extremely calculated and his timing is very good. You'll often see him do this on a forward's first touch. As soon as they take that first touch, he wants to engage, and you'll often see him hold on to defenders to allow them not to move. I think this is key because it hides his weaknesses, which we will touch upon later on. So in a nutshell, what forms the foundations of Yoro's defending? It's all epitomised by his exceptional anticipation, his ability to preempt and neutralise attacks, and his understanding of the game's dynamics, allow him to break down opposition's attack, allow them to slow their flow of the game as well. So he's extremely calculated in his defending, and his on-field economics and decision-making are already at a very high level. What's he like in possession? Well, he's extremely comfortable with the ball at his feet. In fact, I actually see him as one of the best centre-backs with the ball at his feet. He's composed, he's agile, he's got fast feet, he shields the ball well, and he's beautifully press resistant. Combining those together make him a better dribbler than he is a passer, and I'll get on to that why. Dribbling isn't great, but it's decent. He shows huge potential. He's good with both feet, he's composed under pressure, and he's got a really agile and ability to turn quickly and move away from any press. However, he does lack penetration in his dribble, which is surprising because when you watch him, the potential is clear to see. Being more penetrative in his dribbles will have to be something that's coached into him by Erik ten Hag. And if Erik ten Hag gets this right, it could be a real weapon for Man United. Because he's got the tools to be an elite dribbler. So if you can coach into when to dribble, when to move forward with the ball, and not take unnecessary risks, which he does, and that results in him losing the ball. So if you just teach him to be more savvy in possession, this will allow Man United to beat the first line of press easier, but also transition from defence into attack more efficiently. So what's he like with his passing? Again, he's good, but he's not great. There's a high level of passing accuracy, sitting at the 92% mark, but however, a lot of these passes are very conservative, and a lot of them, the majority of them are in his own half. So he doesn't progress the ball as much as you'd like. He does it at times, and it's decent, but he doesn't have the consistency needed, especially over longer distances into space or into a forward's feet. It can be inconsistent. So his passes tend to be inside into the double pivot or to his fullback or to his partner in his centre-back. He doesn't look as comfortable when he's looking to break through the lines or progress the play, which is something, again, that can come over with experience and more game time. So what's he like aerially? Well, in terms of defending, in terms of long balls or goal kicks, he's not that great and doesn't contest in a lot of aerial duels. Sometimes he will allow the forward to get a header on the ball and try and cover the space, which isn't great because that can just cause more danger if a forward's very good in the air. But even when he challenges a forward, sometimes he can mistime his challenges or get caught under the ball, and that means he gets pushed off the ball a lot easier. But standing at 6'3", he does have a presence on the pitch, and he needs to utilise that a lot more, being a lot more confident with these duels. Like I say, he doesn't contest in many. He's got a 64% win rate, but that's because he doesn't contest in many, if that makes sense. And again, because of his height, he's got a presence in both boxes, and he generally does do well when he's attacking set pieces or when he's controlling his own box. But one thing that he does lack in terms of marking, he allows the forward to get a run on him. That gives him the advantage because they've got the momentum to win the ball. So for me, he needs to be a lot more stronger when he's in the air, use his arms a lot more, look to bully opponents rather than just attacking the ball. But in terms of attacking set pieces, he's generally always going to be a threat, and that's just because of his height. So what kind of weaknesses can Man United fans expect? Well, I've already touched on one where he needs to be more progressive in terms of his ball distribution. He needs to be more alert on when to distribute and how to distribute. So he does tend to need to be more progressive, break through the lines with both dribbling and passing. And I touched upon another one just very shortly. He needs to be more controlling and demanding in the air. But I would also say his one-on-one defending is a weakness because he can be caught out trying to defend from the wrong shoulder. So especially against pacey, good dribblers in the Premier League, he can really get caught out. Dribbler to the wrong side, they'll be able to change direction quickly, and that gives him less time to react. But in terms of one-on-one defending, where he is good is when there's a race for the ball and he can use his physicality to outmuscle an opponent. There's another weakness that stood out to me, but I have seen it progressively improve, and that's the tendency to follow forwards. Or else he just needs to be a bit more clever in the way he defends. So where will he play at Man United? For me, I think his best position is as a centre-back. I've seen a lot of talk saying, can he play as a CDM? Well, he's extremely technically good on the ball. He's got good awareness, but I think his progressive passing lets him down. And generally, when you're playing as a CDM, you need that 360 vision. And I think it's very difficult for a defender when everything's in front of him to suddenly go into that CDM role. And he also lacks that ability to be active and go and engage with opponents. I think he gets away with it as a centre-back because he's quick and he's athletic and he recovers the ball a lot better. So I definitely see him as a right centre-back alongside Lisandro Martinez. And if he can just play to his strengths, maybe tweak and improve his weaknesses, they're not even bad weaknesses because these are weaknesses that can be coached into him and improved. So that's a huge and positive sign. Man United can allow him to settle into the environment. They're getting a real top talent on their hands. So there you go, guys. There's the end of the episode, and I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and until next time, thank you very much.